Well, before we start, I just want to point out that this is my first review, so there will be stuff that I can improve on. And I also grew up playing this game, so I will try to be fair and not be blinded with nostalgia. So with that out of the way, let's start. LEGO Racers, LEGO Racers. It's a multi-platform game that was made by High Voltage Media in 1999 for PlayStation, Nintendo 64 and of course the mighty PC. Also, it was made for Game Boy, but let's not care about that version. And yes, I got 2 copies of the PC version. It was cheap, okay? But well, let's look at some stuff that the game case got to say. I'll translate the text for you since it's the Swedish version. LEGO Racers. Speed through LEGO worlds in your own constructible LEGO car. Yeah, that seems pretty cool. What's this? Well, I understand that this game is targeted for younger kids, but why does it say 6 to 99? What about the 100-year-olds? Well, okay. Let's take a look at the backside. Here on the backside, it brags on that it's the first racing game that combines both driving and building. So before I install it on my PC, we'll check the minimum system requirements to make sure my PC is powerful enough to run it. So Windows 95, 98, well I got Windows 7, DirectX 6.1, I got DirectX 11, yeah, Pentium 100, screw it, my PC is probably good enough to run it. Also, while waiting for it to install, I found a manual on the CD that tells us about the story of the game. Meet Rocket Racer, the greatest racing champion in all Legoland. But Rocket Racer has a problem. He's such a brilliant racer that no one can beat him, and now he's bored. So to find a real challenge, Rocket has decided to hunt down the best racers in the history of Legoland, and set up a truly awesome racing contest. Then it goes on to say, Rocket's friend Veronica Voltage is a top scientist and mechanical genius. She has designed and built fantastic Lego dimensional warp machine to send her and Rocket all around Legoland. They hunted high and low and even traveled through time to find the best Lego racers for the ultimate racing challenge. Now, in a thrilling test of driving skills and nerve, you can take on these top LEGO racers in a series of circuit races. And if you beat them all, you will get the chance to compete and race to end all races and go head to head with Rocket Racer himself. The winner will be declared the greatest LEGO racer of all time. Are you ready to be that LEGO racer? So that's the story of the game, and yeah, that's pretty cool. So let's start. Oh, this always hits me with nostalgia. Always. Yeah, I'm prepared. Okay, I wasn't prepared, it always gets me. But let's forget about that jump scare and look at this main menu, which contains the build option, circuit race, single race, versus race, and a time race, and an options menu and a quick button for exiting the game, and finally, but not least, dancing minifigure. But before we challenge the first LEGO racer, we need a car and a minifigure, so let's make one. Well, here it's empty. Let's create something that looks like the computer cat. Yeah, that's more like it. Also, since he's so badass, he will need a badass name like... the number 1, yeah. And of course, a badass character with a badass name also needs a badass car, so let's make one. I actually really like the building in this game, except that when building a car, it's so that if there is a mistake made, then it's a pain in the ass to fix it, since it's only possible to remove the previous placed brick. So if you're too late discovering the mistake and want to remove a brick, then you will have to rebuild everything since that mistake. But otherwise, it's pretty good, and you can unlock both new characters and the parts for building cars when beating circuit races, so you will get more to play with. Also, if you are lazy, you can just select a pre-built car. Here in the build menu you can make more racers if you want, and I think it's possible to do 100 racers actually. It is also possible to edit, copy and delete racers if you need to. And there's an option for test driving the car, but since I'm so skilled, I'll jump into the circuit race right away. So the first race is against the champion, Captain Redbeard, which is very mean. Seriously, I mean it. Oh, that's evil. Go! Stop. You see those colored stuff thingies? Well, that's power-ups, and each colored power-up does different things. Like the red one shooting projectiles, like cannonballs, missiles, and the blue one for shields, and the yellow one is basically obstacles to slow down the drivers behind. First, when you pick up a power-up, they're very basic, but when adding white bricks, you can make them even more powerful. But there is one power-up that's literally broken, and that's the warp power-up. It's so overpowered, and it's so easy to utilize, since there's so many white and green bricks around. But without the overpowered power-ups, the game can be pretty challenging actually. Also, during the second lap, I got stuck because of my enemy Redbeard. Oh, I hate him. So I had to restart. But on my second try, I only used the warp power-up and it became a piece of cake. But since I utilized the warp power-up so much, the last 3 tracks became nothing hard for me. After you win a circuit, you will get both minifigures and new stuff for creating new cars. And that's how the game continues for the rest of the circuits. Well, except the bad guy and the alien, which have the hardest tracks. But they're hard. Also, the last 3 circuits, not including Rocket Racer, are the same as the first 3, except that they're mirrored. Seriously, that's the most laziest way to make more tracks. Shame. But there is one cool thing about the tracks, it's that there is at least one or several shortcuts in every track, excluding Nightmare Athlon. They're great and all, but why doesn't the NPCs notice them? I mean, how can't they see this freaking shortcut? Are they stupid? Okay, let's talk about the controls. Well, the default controls are not that good since they use the arrow keys and have weird placements for the various functions, but it's very easy to change within the game. So I made this so the steering controls are on the WSAD keys, and so the drift was on the huge spacebar and the power up on enter. The game is also compatible with different kinds of PC compatible controls, but I prefer using the keyboard for this game, since it gives the most control. But how do the game itself control, I hear you ask? Oh, you didn't ask? Well, too bad for you, let's bring it up anyway. It's pretty responsive and easy to control actually, unlike some other games, but I do find the power slide a bit too... powerful, yeah. That's the right word. But well, after beating all the 6 circuits, it's finally time to race the one and only Rocket Racer. This final circuit does only contain 1 track, but it's way harder than the previous tracks. You wanna know why? Well, Rocket Racer's little secret is that he isn't that good of a racer. But since he knows how to use the warp power-up all the times he gets it, he will be a pain in the foot. Huh, you get it? You know, when you step on a Lego brick. I got nothing. But the best strategy to beat him is just to steal all the green and white bricks before he does. Also, do not attempt to use the missiles in this level. Yeah, because of the walls. The missiles go right into them and explode. Yeah, that's not good. Rocket was in the lead during most of the race. With the help of the warp, I did catch up and win. Also, Rocket got very pissed and tried to kill me. After Rocket calmed down, he congratulates me, the player, and gives us the Rocket Racers car set. And declared the player the greatest Lego racing champion of all time. Yeah, I guess that's cool. Then roll credits. But then, when you think you finished it, it's actually a bit more to do. Yeah, the time trials against Veronica Voltage, and trust me, they ain't easy. She also uses the speed power-ups constantly, so you have to be very skilled to have a chance of beating her. I found this even harder for me to beat than Rocket Racer's circuit, but when you eventually beat her and unlock the final Lego set and the game is finally completed, then there isn't much more to do than the multiplayer, which weirdly enough is only accessible if having a controller connected. I mean, there is enough space on the keyboard for 2 players, but okay. Yeah, it's okay, since the multiplayer mode, it's not good. Yeah, it's not good. So that was Lego Racers for you. And wait a minute, we forgot the sheets. Yeah, the sheets in this game are awesome. And they're possible to enter when naming a racer. So for example, you want a car with no driver? Well, now you can fix that with this code. Yeah. So I decided to mix some cheat codes together, and the results came to be F-Zero but in Lego Racers. So I will call it F-Lego, yeah. Enjoy! Okay, so that was LEGO Racers for you. And I got to say, it's pretty good, but it's not great. While I like the circuits, the tight controls, the cheats, and the ability to customize, it do have its cons like lacks of tracks, the bad multiplayer. But other than that, I recommend picking this up for your PC since it's not that hard to come across. But my final score will be 6.5 Lego bricks out of 10. So it's a good racing game, but there are better ones like Mario Kart, for example. So that was my review of LEGO Racers for PC, and I hope you did like it. And if you want more of these, go down and brick the like button. Yeah, brick. And leave me suggestions on what I should review next down in the comments, since this was pretty fun to make actually. So have an awesome day everyone, and see ya in the next one. Goodbye! Also, thanks for 200 subscribers. Thank you.